Hello everyone, it's Dragana at Saacibo. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's been over a year since I've completed this journal and done a flip through. And since then I've been working in it. I've been adding things, I've been writing things in, and as you can see, I can't even close it now. Look at that. That's a little monster. Sea monster. I've done a few journals like this, the ones that were nature inspired, and this is the first one that's sea and ocean inspired, and that it looks like this, and I put so much of myself into it. I love it very much. It has a deeper meaning for me, and I plan to keep working on it, although I might have to just stick to writing and not add anything else, or I might have to take some things out. And then this morning it occurred to me that I could actually take one of the signatures and make a separate cover for it and then have two. That way perhaps I'd be able to keep everything and still close the journal. Anyway, I want to show you what's new in it. If you haven't seen that original video, I will link it down below. In that original one, you can see how it looked without writing and without most of the ephemera. It was completed while I was on my holiday in a very special little place or village that I used to go on holidays as a child. So I really love that place and it always inspires me, and it was so great to go back there as an adult and do some creative work. I think I felt like I was at home. I will put that signature aside and I'll take this one out. The great thing about these is that they can be removed because it's just not possible to flip through the journal in its current stage. So I'll do one by one, but I want to show you what's new here. The cover remained the same. I haven't done anything to the cover. Let's take a look at here. I had some of the ephemera originally, like this thing. I didn't do anything to it. It remained the same. I've added this little bags for holding spices, and I got some spiced salt from the locals. They're selling them in little bottles. Of course, I can't put a bottle in my journal, but I can have a little bit of that sea salt with some, I think this is rosemary, oregano, or something like that. One of those Mediterranean spices. So I thought that would be nice. I can just open it up and smell it, and it will remind me of the holiday. Oh, I could just use it on some dishes that I make. Okay. I think this paper was just plain, just folded there, and since then I've just inked and added these labels. I'm definitely going to write more in this journal. It's a lot of fun writing things down. That stayed the same. I haven't done anything to it. Okay, I've written a little note for myself there, and that envelope is, I think, the same. Let me check. I still have those little pictures. I haven't used them anyway. Anyway, so that's that pocket. And this pocket here, we've added this folio. We've done this together in one of the recent videos. It's a little writing area. A little tag. And specimen. I really like the latest Sea and Ocean inspired digital kit that's available for free on my website, and I really wanted to include some of those images in this journal. That stayed the same. That's just an envelope that's been dyed. I haven't done anything there. That's also the same, and this is new. Okay, I'll put these back inside. Okay, let's take a look. Love this little closure. Okay, this is just something I played with the latest freebies. Okay, oh, the little tags. I think I'm gonna write something on them, like a message for myself, or little dates, maybe birthdays, anniversaries, things like that. And there's one pocket here with these images. All right, but then what happens is when you open it up like that, you can also write. Then you open it like this, like that, like so, and then like so. And there's that image from that sea and ocean inspired kit that you can find on my website. Love that. All right. Okay. And then I'm just supposed to put these back inside. I love that. Love these little tags. I meant to put more of them. Oh yeah, 2 in each. Okay, and then just a simple closure with a piece of paper. Okay, I like that. Okay, now let's take a look on the inside. This is new postcard made from that masterboard that I cut up in one of the recent videos. I'll try to point out at everything that's new or that has been changed since the last video. I've added an eyelet in this little topper and that quote from that kit: dance with the waves, move with the sea, let the rhythm of the water set your soul free. And here it says destiny. Okay, I've added that and that. Haven't written anything. I had this tag, but I did the stitching and a little bit of washi tape made from receipts that we've done last year. Added that and that. So, because a lot of the things have happened since last year, I've done videos, I've used different techniques, and I really wanted to include some of them in this journal. Okay, now here's just some writing that's new, and that's from that kit, just a poem, and I thought it would look good. And I've included this from the latest digital kit that I'm working on. The first 3 pages are out on my website. Here they are. You can see that image there. And there's this one and that one. It's called September Nature's Glory. So there will be more images in the coming days and weeks. I'm going to be working on it throughout the September. As soon as I have a few ready, I will upload them to my website. The same deal as always. Just go there, turn the ads off, click on the picture you wish to download, save it on your computer, print it, and use it in your journals, including the ones that you want to sell. Please don't redistribute in digital form as a freebie anywhere else. Share with your friends and family. Just give them the link to my website. If you by mistake click on any of the ads, don't leave your personal information or credit card details or anything like that, because I do not require payment and you do not need to install anything to use these. I have to repeat this every time because new subscribers are joining in and perhaps they don't know how it all works. So I feel like I need to say this every time. All right, now this is new. I've added that from that kit. Created a little pocket there, and this is from my friend Daniela. She sent this little booklet to me in a happy mail last year, and I think it's the perfect spot for it. Yeah, looks so, love that edge there, beautiful colors. All right, now that is also a new. This was a fabric collage, and I decided to glue it here and turn it into a little pocket. Really like the colors. And I've used one of my module cards. This one says, dreams are illustrations from the book your soul is writing about you. Marsha Norman. Maybe I'll do a little entry using that card in the future. Now the journal hasn't been filled completely. There's plenty of room to draw and write in it, and there's no need to rush. When I work in my journals, I don't really start from page 1 and work my way. I would just flip through the journal, and if I see a page that I feel like working in, I would do it. So sometimes it's in the last signature, sometimes in the middle, sometimes in the first. No rules, and that's what I like about junk journals. There's no beginning and no end, and it's never finished completely. You can always add a few more things in, and it might take years to complete one fully, and that is fine. Okay, now this is new. I've added that little pocket there, stenciled that. And these are the specimens I collected when I was on my holiday in Croatia last year. After I came home, I dried them and laminated them and then added them to these pockets. Plenty of room to write here. Let's have a look. All right, here, most of it is the same. That's the same, but that's new. That's done with that kit from last week? Just created a bookmark. We dream in colors borrowed from the sea. Like that. Okay. And it's just something that I dreamt of and I've written it down. And here too. What about you? What do you like to write in your junk journals? I like to write poems. I like to write songs that I love to listen to, the lyrics of the songs, and my dreams, and sometimes my thoughts and all the different quotes that I find inspiring. Now this is new. I had this magazine clipping just loose here in this pocket, and I decided to create a proper card with a little tab here. I've added that little sticker that I got from Ada, another friend of mine. And this one lived somewhere else in the journal, but I moved it here, and I've added one of those tickets that we've done earlier this year. Okay. That stayed the same. And this page here has been dyed with egg dyes, and I really love it. But because this journal was already bound, I was thinking about ways to add it to this journal, and this is my solution. I folded it in 3, and then I glued that middle panel to that page. I think the paper wasn't looking that good on the other side. I can't really remember now, but I've added the lace first, and then I glued that so it opens like this. I can write in it and close it and flip it. That's also new. I don't know if you can see, but the image turned out really dark, so I added a little bit of gold wax, and you see those grooves here where the bricks should be. I just use this to make little dents so it's a little bit textured. That was my solution for that problem. I love it, a lighthouse. Okay, and what do we have in here? Okay, a few new things. This was there before, I think. And this is new. Actually, this is new. A tag from a masterboard. Probably had that in there before. And this is new, just something I've experimented with that digital and some of the printed specimens on acetate. That turned that into paper clip, but without the actual paper clip. So that's new. This journal is not just a memory keeper for me about a special place. It is also a book of ideas. So I'm hoping by sharing this, you might find inspiration and find it helpful in deciding how you want to use your journal, because I know that a lot of people just make journals and they sell them. And I know that a lot of people buy journals and then look at them, and also some that actually use them. And I like to use mine. I like to at least write something. It doesn't have to be fully written. It doesn't have to be, completely covered. But even if it's just one little sentence or one thought or one word, something that will later on remind me of something or give me a sense of joy. I love journaling like that. Now this was done at the beginning of the year when we did faux stained glass. I've added that page. I think I've shown you in that video, but it wasn't here last year. And also this is new. It's just that old map that's printed on vellum paper. I've added that there. Love this. Love this image. I think I've done something here. I think I've cut it up a little bit, so it's not the same as it was. And that also is a new thing. We've done that together in a video. And over here I've created a little paper clip with this specimen and these tags. And this was also done by my friend Daniela, like a little card. And that's that freebie from last month. Just folded it in 3, inked, and I'm using this paper clip to hold it. Yeah, you might find some ideas on how to add things or papers to a journal that's already been bound. Let's take a look at this one. This is the same. I think this is new. Okay, I have this thing here. This is a napkin that's been decoupaged on just some white paper using coffee and clear glue. But because the napkin is square and it has that writing, I decided to fold it like this. And I can still write on this side. I'm going to try to translate this. It says, "My thoughts are like swarm of bees. They never stop buzzing." Just a little observation. All right. Another thing that I want to mention is that when I journal, I sometimes journal in English and sometimes in Bosnian. So my journals are just a big surprise to me even. Sometimes I find that I can express certain things easier in English, and other times I find that that's a little bit difficult, so I would just write in my own language. I've decided to add a bit of glue here. This was a thing that was meant to go up and down, and it kept sliding and annoying me, so I just added a bit of glue and made it permanent fixture. And I've added this. It just needed it because it looked really lost there, and I like it better now. That's a new one. I've added that pocket with corrugated cardboard. Added that picture and those cute tags from the freebie. I added that specimen there, and just something that I had and decided to put it in here. Okay, and over there I think I've just inked this page. I've added this card, made it with that freebie. Love the seahorses. Okay, that's a new thing. Just a quote from one of the digital kits. It might be from Nautical Collection, I'm not sure, and that is the freebie. So it has like a little tuck spot as well, or I can write and then just close. And that's new. That's the marbled lace. When I was experimenting with marbling technique using acrylic paints, I've tried some on the lace, and that's the result, and it just looks good here, so I thought I should add that. Oh, you see, Sailing by Rod Stewart. I don't know, I was working on the journal and I started humming that song, and I thought I'll just write it down. It's an old song, but I'm sure you know which one it is. That's another egg dye paper. I've added that label. That's all I've written there. I'll translate it for you. Life is a journey. Okay. it's probably the most important journey for all of us. Okay. Oh, that's new, I think. I've added that postcard and that. And one of the little envelopes that we've done together. What do I have in here? Okay, just something I've written. I won't read everything, and I won't even attempt to translate things. Some of them are personal, some are not. I'm just giving you an example of how I like to use my journals. Okay, another song that I like written there, and that's from that new freebie. And this one I've just written here, when I was visiting, the things that I found really fascinating. And what do we have in here? That's new. I've added that recently. And here's another napkin decoupaged on some dyed paper, and just a quote from one of the artists that he sadly passed away during COVID, but he was probably in this region one of the most famous songwriters. And then I found this in one of the books that I keep taking pages out, and it's about the sea, and I thought I'll just cut it out and put it in here. And another pocket, I had this when I was doing the video on laminating die cut shapes and glitter, and it looked really cute, and I thought I'll just put it here. And then more specimens from over there. And I don't know what that is, some sort of grass. Looks like seagrass a little bit, but it's not. Okay, over here I don't think anything changed. Nope. It stayed as it was. Oh, but that is new. That's done with that freebie from last week. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. I want to show you what I've done here. I had this envelope that kept opening and it annoyed me, so I just glued this on that side. So when I want to close it, I put it there, and that's a thicker paper, so it holds it closed. Love it. But I want to show you what's in here. Please don't laugh. I found some old photos, old baby photos of me when I was visiting this same place with my parents more than 50 years ago. And there's me. I don't know what I'm doing, playing with water there. Oh, look, I've got my own boat. It's called Sirius. And that's me with my parents at the beach. Love these photos. I was laughing so much when I saw them the other day. I had to put them in here. Okay. And yeah, we've done that recently. Love these. Really, really love these. And I've written on the back where the specimens were taken, where and when. Okay. And now this is new. I had this page that was short, and then there was this one from the freebie, and I really wanted to have some of that paper inside, so that's my solution. Okay, now here, what do we have here? Oh yeah, that's waxed paper. I've printed this image. We've done this at the beginning of the year when we were doing all the coloring books. I've colored this lightly with inks, and then I waxed it, and that's why it's sort of bluish and really thick and see-through. And then I've written down a poem from a poet from this place, Mostar, and I found this old postcard that hasn't been written on, so I started writing the poem, and then I ran out of space, so I've written the last bit on this card. Every time we visited there, I remember their gardens and backyards. They all had beautiful hydrangeas and really hot summers. All right, and this is more of a spring flower, not really summer or autumn, but I kind of like it there. So that's why I glued it there. Okay. Not everything has to make sense in the journals. There should be a place to express whatever we feel, whatever we want, without judgment and without any need to conform with what others are thinking of us or what we do. You should really feel free when you're journaling or painting, or, you know, just do what makes you happy. Also, another specimen from over there. Turn that into a pocket. Love this. I'm gonna enjoy so much working on this latest kit. And even the text at the back is from a book about wildflowers. It's in Bosnian though, or maybe in Croatian. I can't really tell now. I can still write a little bit here. And I've done a little bit more to this page. There was something else here that I just did not like. It just didn't look good. So I've added this little collage. What do we have in here? Okay, this is from years ago when we were visiting Zagreb and we were staying at that hotel, and I kept that napkin. So I laminated it and I thought I'll just put it in here. And that also was there. And then I've just written this: life is just a series of moments. It is. Everything is just a moment. It's also from a song by Aerosmith, Dream On. Love that song. And here I've added these. It says take a chance, because you might not get a second chance. Just if you want to do something, just do it. Also a poem by Croatian singer songwriter. Love this one. The title was just really great for this journal. I'll try to translate this, but forgive me if I make no sense. It says salty air and spilt ink. I just had to write it there. And this here, just last week a cousin visited me. He came to visit with his family and brought me these chocolates. So after I finished eating the chocolates, I was about to toss it in the bin, and I thought, oh, but seashells, and I'm working on a sea and ocean inspired journal. So I just cut out that part and turned that into like a card to write on. And that's from the recycling soda cans video, little paper clip. Okay. It had the right colors. That's the same. Haven't done anything. And here, yeah, I've done a bit of work here. I've added this little collage to make it look pretty. It used to be like this. It had that cover. So I decided to flip that the other way around and create that. And added a few more specimens that I cut. And that is something that I've done like 4 or 5 years ago. I had a few of these bookmarks and I thought I'll just put one in there. And that's a gift from Daniela. Beautiful writing card. Love that. Thank you, Daniela. And that's my marbled paper. I love this one. There's just one piece left. Probably going to write something on the back. But I love the colors. I love how it turned out. Oh, it's gonna live there. And then we come to this. As I said, that part was here. I flipped it. And then I had that door. Turned that into a pocket. I just glued it. Another one of the tickets. And more of the specimens I collected when I was there. All right, and then here, do we have anything? This is the same. I haven't changed that, but that's new. The tag from a masterboard. Okay, and then over here, that is new. That large card. I think I'm going to write a recipe or something. the back. Special recipe. And I thought I'll add this little star, and then, oh, that broke. That was part of that butterfly. I'll have to think of a way to fix it. But when it broke off, I simply just glued it here, and it's all right. I've only added this quote here. I haven't colored this in. I like it like so. When life knocks you down, roll over and look at the stars. But these are sea stars. Doesn't make sense, does it? All right, so that's the middle signature. You see, there's like 3 journals in one. And in the third one, have I done anything here? I've left some pieces to work on. And I did. I created this little card. This explanations on how to create a knot. Used my painty paper and just stamped this. And then here also I had a piece of a painty paper left. Added this specimen. I've attached it with the stapler. Dream and explore, or explore dreams, or whatever. And I've added that image from the freebie. So ended up playing with what I left in there. Love that dress. Okay, another song called The Sea. Oh, Bad Dreams by Teddy Swims. I love that song. Okay, what do we have in here? Okay, yeah, I know. This is just something I've written, like a message to my mom. And that's her with me, that same place when I was maybe 1.5. Okay. My mom just loved crafting. I think I got it from her. Okay. That stayed the same. I've added these little butterflies that I've colored with inks and then waxed. It says laugh, play and dance. So that's new. That stayed the same. I've just written a little something from a song. And another one of those papers that were waxed. I've written a part of a song that is about the sea and the seashells and something like that, and also about the roses. That stayed the same, but this is new. This is that masterboard that I cut up. There was something here. I don't know, I lost it. I've added this. I had a little bit of that lace left, so I just glued that there. I thought it was good. Oh, I can read this to you. I just looked at that picture and I realized that's the bottom of the sea or the ocean. And then I've written this. Sometimes it's better not to stir the bottom of the ocean. Who knows what might come to surface? It's best to leave the past where it belongs and swim towards the sun. I had to write this down to remind myself not to dwell on the past, you know. And I'm sure everyone had things happen to them that would affect the way they are. It's just sometimes better not to go there. It kills the mood. Oh, I love this. We've done that with the receipts. Last year we painted the receipts and I created that ruffle and that little flower. And that's also a napkin that's decoupaged on the book page, so I just cut it out and glue it here. Love the texture. Summertime. Funny fish. Okay, that's the same apart from that little fabric tape that I've added. I had that little piece and I thought I'll just add it there. Why not? It's the same again. That's new. think I've added this bit, waxed paper and egg dye. Oh, I love this. Dare to live. Clean up marble paper with a stamp of a lighthouse. I think I've shown you in one of the videos. So I don't know where it was originally in this journal, but it's there now. Oh, remember the tickets we made together? Okay, I've written something for myself. What to remember about my holiday there. The peace and quiet, the love, the moments, the happiness, the surroundings, the ease of existence, the nights, the waves and ripples, the singing crickets, the slow mornings and the long walks. Okay, another song. I love this song. It's about when you're comfortable with someone that you can sit together in silence and be okay. You don't need to talk. And then here, this is new, a postcard from a masterboard, and I think I've written this. Oh, this is just to remind myself not to stress out when we're traveling. We always end up making a wrong turn. We start talking and then, it happened last year too, and we ended up on the wrong side of the river. We had to keep driving and driving until the next bridge. So we discovered this whole new area that we never actually been there, and it's beautiful. So I'm actually glad that we took a wrong turn and ended up there. Otherwise we would never see that. So it's not always bad when things don't go your way, and you shouldn't stress about it. Who knows, maybe it's for the best. Love this. Love this. I've just colored it with some inks and found this quote, "Some flowers bloom at the darkest part of the night." That was just from a scrapbooking kit I bought when I was there. I think this is new. Yeah. One of those paper clips with little notepads that we've done together, and that coin charm. Okay, I've added that there. It says it's all about the journey, not the destination. Okay, and I think I had that map somewhere in this journal. Was gonna do something with it, so I did. I folded it in half and glued it together. I turned it onto this side, that looked a bit better. Done some stitching, so it's like a nice place to write. I've added that image there, and I've written this to myself. In this time of uncertainty, I can only hope and pray that I never lose my moral compass, because it seems as the humanity in general has lost it already. Yeah, it's difficult times we live in. Okay, what do we have in here? Just a receipt. I've written another part of the poem from that artist. Love that paper. Egg dye with some stencils and then waxed, but I've waxed it with scented candles, so it smells nice, and I like that smell, so it's there to make my journal smell nice. And that's a ticket from a concert. We went to see that guy, but that was from 2 years ago, and I thought I'll just put it there. Okay, that's new. I've added that, and that feather that I found, and another song from the same artist. It's about the fish. Another artist that my parents loved listening to his songs, and it's about the seagull. That's that. Okay, and then here we have some new additions, I think. Got that big specimen. This was growing on the terrace of the apartment we rented. the whole terrace, the whole balcony was covered in these. So beautiful. So I had to cut a few to take with me. The owner didn't mind. That's probably the same that was there before. And this. And I found this old postcard, I think from the 80s. Or someone gave me this. Maybe Daniela gave me this. I can't really remember. But it says, love is deep as the ocean. And I have this. That was an invitation to my first solo show in Melbourne years ago. And I wanted it in here because of that image that looks like a sun. And the blue, like the sea. It's just really summery. Okay. And do we have anything new in here? I think everything is the same. Apart from this large card. I really like it. I haven't written anything on the back yet, but I will. So hopefully if I go back next year, because I don't think I'll go this year, but if I go back next year, maybe I'll take the journal with me and journal in it while I'm there. Now you see, I have no idea how am I going to close this journal. I think I'm going to just put signature 1 and 3 like so, and then I will keep this one like that. I don't think it even needs a cover. It looks all right as it is. And if I have time, I'll just make a new cover. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy this flip through and little chat with me. And I hope it gave you some ideas on what to do with your journals once you make them. Write in the comments below what you like to write in your journals. Is it like a diary? Is it just specific things or your thoughts? Or I'd love to know that, because we're all different. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you soon in the next one. Bye for now.